Welcome to What Does This Mean? A stewardship educational venture by First Lutheran Church in Topeka. I'm Ralph Crummins, your host of today's video, and with me is Pastor Bob Deely, who will share with us insights and perspectives on the topic of stewardship of our spiritual gifts. As you listen to our discussion, ask yourself this question: what does this mean for me and how I discover and use the spiritual gifts that I have received? Thank you, Pastor Bob, for joining us today. Pastor for 40 years and more, and you've had an interest in helping people discover their spiritual gifts.
Absolutely. In the mid-1980s is when I was first exposed to spiritual gifts, and I understand that God gives gifts to each one of us. Every person has different gifts, talents, abilities. And God invites us to use those gifts to serve God and to help our neighbors. In terms of what I think our stewardship of those gifts are, basically, what are the gifts that God has given us? As we help people understand those gifts, then the question is, how do I use those gifts to honor God? And then maybe the third question might be, how might I become a better steward of those gifts?
All right. So basically, God's given us all gifts. What's he giving? Has he given me? What's he blessed me with? How do I use gifts for God's work?
Absolutely. Sure.
Great. So as we talk about spiritual gifts, we're in this month, we're as part of our year-long stewardship venture, we're inviting people to take a spiritual gifts assessment to help them discover what the gifts are. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, it's relatively easy. It's like taking a survey. There are 60 questions, and as people answer those questions, eventually it will help them identify 20 different spiritual gifts. And they cover a variety of topics, things like leadership, prayer, mercy, different things like that. And basically, the resource, after people take it, reactions come in two different ways. One, oh, I didn't realize I had that gift, or I didn't know that that was a gift. Or the other reaction is it affirms what they already knew and believed about themselves.
Right. Yeah, I took the survey and I found it was interesting. It took me like 15 minutes to do this. And there were a few on there. I went, oh yeah, I know that. I know that. I got, I think it was stewardship of administration, and then of course arts and crafts, and those are things that really interest me. And I said, great. And then there were a couple of others. I went, oh, that's interesting. But when I was filling out the survey, there were parts where I went, oh, I really ought to be better at this. So down to it, I was at least happy to see there were some that really affirmed what I already knew, plus there were some that affirmed some that I didn't really count as being really great at. Yet it said I was pretty good at those. So it was really a very positive experience, and in life, I thought too. Well, I imagine. Go ahead.
Once people discover what their gifts are, you know, sometimes people say, "Oh, I know this and this, this, this," but those other gifts that aren't as obvious to them, both are opportunities for them to grow and develop those gifts.
Right, exactly. So I believe I'm sure in the comments, there should be a link to this survey. I would think we'll be able to put that in on our survey or on our YouTube so that perhaps people can get to that survey and take that survey, right?
Well, the survey will be available two ways. There will be a paper copy. Some people like to do things the old-fashioned way, and we will certainly provide a paper copy, but we'll also provide a link for them to take it electronically. And as you know, not only do you get to do the survey, but you score it. You get to see your answers at instantaneous results, which is good.
Right. I thought over how it was all done. So it's pretty exciting to see how people respond to gifts that God has given them. It's kind of like you told me, it was like opening like a Christmas present almost.
Yeah. Christmas every day. Great. Oh, that's a gift. Let me open it.
Well, are there any other thoughts, Pastor Bob, before I wrap it up?
Well, I certainly hope that people will take advantage of the opportunity to discover their gifts, to reflect on ways in which they may use them. It may be an opportunity that they'll say, oh, I have this gift. Maybe I could use this in service to God or neighbor this way. And, the stewardship people aren't going to come knocking on their door and saying, okay, tell us what your gifts are and you're going to serve. It's more an invitation and an opportunity to be inspired.
Exactly. That sounds great. Well, thank you to our guest today, Pastor Bob Deely, and thank you for watching this. Our stewardship theme for September is Stewardship of Service. You continue to grow in your understanding of stewardship as you answer this question. What does this mean? Thank you very much, and good afternoon.